This could actually prove fatal. The housing industry urges Powell to stop raising interest rates or rate an economic hard landing. And interest rates, are they good for crypto? Are they bad for crypto? This doesn't matter. They're bad for the economy on the long term. If we have high interest rates, we're basically fighting inflation. We're fighting not getting the big market. But seems like National Association of Home Builders, the Mortgage Bank Association, and the National Association of Realtors wrote to the Fed to convey profound concern about the industry. The group asked the Fed to not contemplate further rate hikes and not ethically sell its holdings of mortgage securities. So, right now, what we're seeing, if we get a 10% interest rate, the stocks will drop. I'm not too sure about crypto. Crypto halving is still, in April, so we could be seeing that grow. But the groups asked the Fed not to complicate further rate hikes and not to actively sell its holdings or mortgage securities, at least until the housing market is stabilized. So now the housing market is dropping and everybody's basically afraid. There appears to be a little appetite for easing, with the benchmark Fed rates now pegged in a range between 5 to 5.5, its highest in some 22 years. So this is a historical moment. We never saw this before, and we're kind of all expecting it, right? 2021 was not kind to us, except in market gains. At the same time, the housing market is suffering through constrained inventory levels. Prices have jumped nearly 30% since the early days of the pandemic, and sale volumes are more than 50% from a year ago. So 50% less buys is not that bad, since, people were basically buying it an insane amount and raising the prices, buying real estate. The average 30-year mortgage is now shy of 8%. If we get that to 10%, I do expect some stocks to drop. And a higher interest rate is actually going to be pretty bad for long term. For short term, it's going to be really bad because it's going to make stocks drop fast. But the average home price has climbed to $400,000. Now tell me, how can an average person buy a house for $400,000, even with a family, even with 2 wage checks and 10% interest rates? It's almost impossible to buy yourself a home. And anyone that's young, anyone that's like 20, 21, 19, they're in up for a surprise. It's definitely a very scary situation. The groups also pointed out the spreads between the 30-year mortgage and 10-year treasury yield are at historically high levels, while shelter costs are a principal driver for increases in the consumer price. Inflation gauge. As a part of effort to reduce its bond holdings, the Fed has reduced its mortgage holdings by nearly $230 billion since June 2022. So the housing market is basically asking, hey, don't sell that, because if you do sell that, it's going to be bad for us. And that's what's happening with real estate investments. They're basically dropping. The Fed might be more aggressive and start actively selling its mortgage-backed securities. So basically, I think with real estate into the market, basically dumping. Nothing has been announced. If we see a 10% inflation, it's definitely not going to look as good. If you guys want more content like this, be sure to smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Peace, everyone.